So I know some of you may be wondering a little bit about my countryhumans universe because I, well, obviously have been making videos about it, so I might as well just read you the details. Actually. Alright. Let me do this. Oh, wrong note. Sorry. Alright. Wrong note. Alright. There we go. The plot, the characters, their goals, and how they achieve it. So the genres of this story are horror, action, and fantasy. Plot tropes, hurt comfort, angst, and genfic. If you don't know what genfic is, it's just like a story with a protagonist who doesn't have any romantic partners. That's all it is. Okay, all these main character tropes they give my main character aren't actually true. Anyways. Eric. So main character's role. Formal anti-hero, antagonist to the side characters, and then anti-hero again. Villains. Eric, the embodiment of fear, aka the devil's son, and Satan, the leader of the temptation. Type of villain Eric is brainwashed into a horrible ideology. Type of villain Satan is a cliche villain with non-cliche strategies to achieve his goals. What I mean by this is like the type of, I think he actually does have a bit like cliche type of strategies actually, but like it's like my favorite archetype of a villain. It's like, which is the type of villain that is basically pure evil, but we get to see how their plans play out, and like sometimes we could see like a twist of how far they can go. But we already know they're villains, what type of plans they have, but sometimes, yeah, we just don't know how far they're gonna go to achieve those plans, which is the type of villain that he is. Anyways. Antagonist. It says the protagonist name, but again, it's to the side characters. Okay. Why Villain 1, aka Eric, wanted revenge because the protagonist ruined his plans to destroy the universe, killed him, and succeeded in stopping him from destroying the universe. Alright. The side character's goal: to stop the monster who wants to destroy the universe and save the protagonist. Why it's hard for the side characters to achieve their goal: because they show prejudice against one another, leading to division, conflict, and problematic behavior. Why do the side characters have prejudice towards each other? Different religions, cultures, political structures, disabilities, sexual orientation, gender identity, races, and species. What does the protagonist want? Her people to be safe and at peace, and to stop living in fear. Why can't the protagonist achieve their goal? Her people have to decide if they want peace or not, and she gets possessed by Eric, which is the villain. Well, at first, but we'll get to that later. What motivated the protagonist to kill Eric? Because he tried to kill the protagonist and the rest of the universe, and she wanted to protect her people, so she killed Eric. Why does your protagonist have... Wait, no. Scratch that. It just says, does your protagonist have any disabilities? I was about to what did I put? Why? Anyways. Okay. Yes, she has congenital anosmia, meaning she couldn't smell since birth. How does the villain take advantage of the protagonist's disability? The villain puts in poison that you have to smell to detect it, but the protagonist can't smell, so she drinks the tea, nearly dying in the process. What is Eric's reason to try to destroy the universe? To get his dad's approval. Why does Eric want to get his dad's approval? Because his dad has brainwashed him into thinking that would make him proud. What does Eric do to try to destroy the universe? Use fear to divide people, make them live within fear, possesses the protagonist, and use her to make it harder for the side characters to achieve their goal. How does Eric possess Main Sixville? That's the protagonist's name. Use her fear as a way to get to her eventually, and make her eventually give up, and use her to his advantage. What does the side characters do to achieve their goal? They try to face their fears, try to resolve conflict, to work together to overcome their obstacles, comfort the protagonist and each other, and focus on each other's strengths. How does the protagonist's goal get achieved by the side characters? They mostly resolved conflicts by working together. Prejudice has calmed down, and their fear of one another has decreased due to prejudice towards each other have been proven to be problematic. How does Eric realize, because I'm using both the American and British version of realize. Okay. That his dad didn't care about him. His dad betrayed him and tried to take away his power. What happens to the protagonist? She goes to prison with the villain. What happens to villain 1? He goes to prison with the protagonist. Why does the protagonist spare the villain? Because she knows how it's like to be in a situation where she needs to do something bad in order to achieve her goal. Does the story end with Eric and Main Sixville in prison? No. What happens to the side characters? They live mostly peaceful lives. Does Eric become good? Yes. What happens next? The devil will become the main villain for the next season. What does villain 2, aka the devil, want? To destroy the universe for his own amusement. What does the devil do to achieve his goal? He tempts, manipulates, and intimidates people who help him destroy the universe. What happens to Eric and Main Sixville when the devil comes back? They escape prison and warn the people about the devil's return. How does Eric warn people about his dad's return? He uses his shadow of fear as a warning sign. How does Main Sixville warn people about the devil's return? By using her influential power in her speech. She's a very charismatic person, so anyways. How does the side characters find out about the devil's return? Through the warnings Main Sixville and Eric has been sending them. What do the side characters do about the warning signs? They get ready for the worst. What does main six villain era do after they warn people about the devil's return? They help the side characters to get ready and survive through the end. And how they did it is that they pretended to be tempted by the devil. And while they knew they cannot destroy him, they knew they can outsmart him. That's what they were doing. Anyways. Oh, I have even more. I forgot. The rating, 16 to 18 plus, aka young adult TV. Okay. Trigger warning, blood and abuse. Yeah. Dark themes, prejudice, betrayal, fear, and moral hypocrisy. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Message of the story. I don't think that's message of the story. Yeah. What I wrote here, I don't think it really applies anymore, but I think this message of the story is take accountability for your actions, and yeah, and also stay resilient. Type of energy you want. What type of energy do you want in the story? Awareness and inspiration. How do you want your audience to feel? Intrigued and satisfied. How do you feel about the story? Excited, satisfied, and proud of myself for making this story. How do you want you and your audience to feel about the characters? Empathy, compassion, and like we're a part of their story. How many seasons do you want? 2. How many episodes? 16. Do you want? 16, sorry. How long do you want each episode to be? 30 to 35 minutes long. How long do you want? How many episodes do you want in each season? 8. That's all. That's all I have.